Sivaram Pillai, co-founder and director, Proclean Technologies. Proclean is the manufacturer of natural, non-toxic and biodegradable products, replacing harmful chemicals for industrial applications including paper, textiles, leather, water, etc. His work experience spans biotechnology, instrumentation and agriculture. Dr. Pillai's forte is in developing and commercializing technology-based products and has multiple global patents to his name. He's traveled all across the world and has rich exposure in putting together international collaborations and joint ventures. As the world is fighting climate change by focusing on environment sustainability, we cannot wait to hear from you, sir. I request Dr. Sivaram Pillai to come and address our gathering.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here in this campus, in this auditorium here. 50 years ago, in 1974, in this very auditorium, almost to the month, I think it was in the month of January 1974, I and my classmates, Madhyaragan, Kamalam, we staged a drama here as part of our cultural evening. I was studying in the biochemistry department of the Madras University, which used to be housed in this building. So happy, such fond memories of this campus. Professor Ramasamy used to be my hostel mate in PG hostel. He doesn't remember those days, but I do remember. So very happy to be here. Also, I must thank God and say that I found my wife in this campus. I met her first in this campus. So such a pleasant memories of this campus. After Abhayji spoke and Mr. Ilangovan talked about various points in his welcome speech, I don't think there is much I can talk about or share ideas to the young students here, aspiring entrepreneurs, as to what they should be doing. So I'll stick to the kind of topic given to me, which is sharing my experiences of building, building a green business. So first of all, what is green business? Many people think that making a CFL tube can be called, there's no longer any CFL tube, but those days CFL tubes used to be called green business. But then later on somebody said the process of making a CFL tube is so energy intensive and creates so many problems. While the use of the tube may be reducing energy, it is really not a green business. So our experience is that we of course, first of all, we have a startup which we established in 2012. I founded it along with two other friends of mine. By the way, I became an entrepreneur at the age of 59. Unlike you guys, you're trying to be an entrepreneur. After I came out of my corporate career, I and another friend of mine was thinking about doing something interesting and in our own small way, try to contribute to the society. So we said, let's try and do something with beneficial microorganisms, an area where I was somewhat familiar with because of my previous experiences. And we happened to read a book and realized that use of these small creatures, we could solve some problems, especially related to pollution. And so we started in the leather industry because my co-founder was actually having a small leather export business. And so we started with using microorganisms to reduce pollution in the leather processing. And we found some success, and eventually we realized that we had developed a platform kind of process for making biodegradable surfactants. And today Proclean Technology is the company which we founded, does that business. We are making products mainly B2B, supplying to industries. Main revenues come from the textile industry, pulp and paper industry, leather industry. We replace chemicals which are being used in those industries. So that's the business. So for us, a green business means the manufacturing also has to be green, which means, you shouldn't be spending a lot of energy, creating a lot of pollution, making a biodegradable product, and then call yourself green. because the product itself is biodegradable, you don't become green. That's our philosophy. So we have been able to, luckily we have been able to develop a process where the entire manufacturing is extremely green. We consume 98% less energy compared to the product we replace. We generate 99% less wastewater compared to the product we replace. Our carbon footprint is 80% lower than the product we replace. We consume 93% less water than compared to the product we release. So we have a green manufacturing process. Because it is green, it is also low cost. I don't know whether you are able to relate to that. When you spend less energy, you consume less water, you are actually spending less money in manufacturing, right? So we have a process which is green because it is green, it is low cost, and therefore we are able to compete with the chemicals. Otherwise, if you were trying to replace a chemical with an enzyme which costs a lot more to manufacture, the customer is not going to use it. In all my life, at least working life, I have spent in taking green products to market. And I can tell you, nobody wants to pay 1 rupee more because it is green, right? Because they have a business to run. So why would they want to pay more if they can afford, if they can do things with the chemical, if there is no pressure, if there is no regulation, they wouldn't use a green product. So it has to be, it has to compete with whatever products you are replacing. You have to deliver better value to the customer, only then the customer will buy. So our experience was that it took a very, very long time. We started in 2012. It took almost 3 years for us to acquire a first paying customer because we were an unknown entity. We were taking business away from large multinational chemical corporations. Our first product which we sold to the textile industry, we replaced a product which was being used, being purchased from Huntsman, one of the largest chemical auxiliary manufacturer for the textile industry. Why? Because we were able to go there and demonstrate to the customer that we are producing better results. So what I'm trying to convey to you is that Abhayji talked about that nobody comes with big advantages. There are always handicaps. I've been used to handicaps right from the beginning. I don't know whether I should talk about myself. When I was 7 years old, I got polio and I was paralyzed. I was crawling on the floor. Lucky for me that somebody was able to treat me and make me walk. So I could have said that, why me? But I looked at myself and said, I am lucky because I am able to walk. I think you need to have that attitude. Abhayji talked about saying everybody has some handicap in some form or the other. The question is, can you do something to overcome all that and still achieve what you want to achieve in life? And I can tell you that it is possible because, from experience, I'm telling you it is possible. So what else can I share with you? I didn't come prepared with slides. It was more sharing an experience. One other thought maybe I would like to share with you because some of you are wanting to be an entrepreneur, build a business. There are certain fundamentals which you need to follow. I think Mr. Ilangovan talked about it. Maybe I'll present some other aspects of it. Number one is that you have to have a purpose, right? Why are you becoming an entrepreneur? Is it only to make a living? If it is only to make a living, I think you will give up as soon as you are not able to make money. You will give up very soon if it is not profitable. So I think you need to combine the aspect of earning a living with something more interesting, something more purposeful. I can tell you in 2015, after we started, we were steadily growing and we had a manufacturing facility in Tirumudavakam, very close to the Adayar River. And in 2015, all of you know, the Chennai floods hit us and we were completely wiped out. There were 9 feet of water in our facility. We lost all the inventory. We lost our customers because we were not able to manufacture. So we could have given up at the time. You know, also remember I told you, I started this when I was 59 years old, right? Why would I want to risk all my savings and still continue with this? But there was a bigger purpose. We were convinced we had something very interesting. There was a lot of conviction we had that this is a product line which could be very useful to the industry, useful to the world, and therefore we continued and we persevered, and today we are successful. We have come a long way from the time we started. We have 170 people working in the organization. It is growing nicely. It is profitable now. In fact, we decided that 3 years ago, because all the founders were kind of senior citizens. The average age of founders today is 65. So we decided that we need to build a professional team. Happy to say one of your alumnus, Karthikeyan, who is a chemical engineer, is our CEO. So we have built a professional team which could actually take this business to the next level. So these are some of the thoughts. I don't know what else I can share with you. The other fundamental thing to keep in mind is be transparent. You know, it has helped us a lot. Have good governance. Don't ever try to have a number 2 account, right? Many people will be, there will be enticement, so can we take out a little bit of money on the side? Never do that. Because remember, you know, Abhayji talked about bringing in investors, diluting yourself and bringing in investment into the company. If you do herapheri, if you do, you know, bad things in accounting, you will not get investors coming in and trusting in you. Right from the beginning, we have followed transparency, good governance. Even when we are a private limited company, we are not required to have independent directors, but we have, you know, very reputable independent directors. We have Dr. Raman, ex-managing director of BASF, as one of our independent directors. Dr. Achala Danait, who was ex-MD of Clariant Chemicals, is one other independent director. So I'm saying create a structure which is transparent, create processes which are good governance to be there, and automatically you will attract people to come to you and you will be successful. So these are some thoughts. I don't know what else I can share with you. Thank you for the time. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to take.